Hello, I'm Josie, and welcome to my channel. I'm not wearing glasses right now. Um, yeah, this is kind of what I look like with glasses. There we go. Now I have my glasses on. Not sure what the point of that was, but there we go. Um, so this vlog is mostly going to be a lot of questions that you guys ask, and if I have time, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story and how I knew that I was transgender. I have my GoFundMe down below. If you guys could donate, it would be really helpful to help me buy the clothes or makeup, afford hormones when it's time, and just a lot of my money is going towards rent and living expenses, so any help that you could possibly give would be so great. Okay, so a lot of people sent me questions on my Ask for this, so I'm gonna go through and... Okay, so tell us about your high school experience. And this was supposed to be in general. So high school was a very weird experience for me. In grade 9 and 10, I was in this program called Foundations, and it's part of the International Baccalaureate program, or the IB program. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a worldwide program, and it's an advanced program, and you have to do a lot of work. And if you want to go to like an Ivy League school or like an international school, it's great, but if not, then it's not so. So I was really segregated from the rest of the school, aside from this group of people that I had classes with that were really smart. So it didn't really fit in, and it was a really weird, awkward 2 years for me. After that, I went back into normal school. I'm sorry, I get distracted super easily and I'm hungry. So in grade 11, I started taking drama, and I joined my school's improv team. That's really where I started to find myself a little bit, and I'm really thankful for that, because theater since then has become such a huge part of my life, and it's something that I want to keep doing. I'm in a production right now, and I have another audition in 2 weeks, which I'm super excited for. I might do a video of the song that I'm auditioning for later on, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. If I do get in, maybe I'll do a little vlog series about the play behind the scenes. But in grade 11 went okay. Near the end, I started to try and figure out myself a little bit, and I actually came out to a lot of people as gay, and just that I liked to cross-dress, and that really didn't go well. So I actually ended up going back in the closet because of how scared I was because of people's negative reactions, and have tried really hard to be straight and cisgender for a good other 2 years before I finally started to be comfortable with myself and confident in who I am this past summer, and started to talk about it, and I'm really thankful that I did. Do you have any tips for getting through high school for people that are struggling to get through it? Okay, so I experienced a lot of bullying in high school, although by grade 12 I'm a person who really respects other people as long as they're not an asshole to me. So I was on pretty good terms with almost everybody in the school. I respected them, they respected me. Like I said, I was really into theater, so I was one of the leads in my school musical, and I did morning announcements, so I was well known, but I was also being myself. Like, I would wear a bow tie every single Wednesday, and I'm the only person who would wear a bow tie on a normal day, but because of that, I'm establishing individuality, and that's something for me that is really important to me, and it makes me my own person, and that honestly really helped me going out and buying new bow ties and picking out a new outfit and just trying to make the most of it. Join clubs, that's something that I was so thankful that I did. I was super involved in my high school. I was on the improv team, and I did plays and I did announcements. I was on student council. I was a mentor for grade 9, so when I was in grade 11 I was a house league captain when they divided the school into like 4 different house leagues and had competitions. Like, I was pretty involved, and I'm really thankful that I was, because it helped me grow as a person, and I also got some great volunteer experience. So get involved, be yourself. Those are the 2 big things. When you were little, did you know that being trans was a thing? I actually didn't. Um, I didn't quite understand what um, being transgender was. I knew that as a child I felt like a girl and really, really wished that I was a girl, but because of my religious surroundings, I was tricked into thinking I was a boy, so I had to act like a boy. So I had that mindset. When I was in grade 11, I first met um, someone who was trans in real life in my drama class, and I didn't know that they were transgender until someone told me halfway through the school year, and I was just really fascinated that that was a thing, and that's kind of where I started to question if that's what I was, and here we are today. Did you ever think you were gay instead of trans? Well, I kind of already answered that, yeah. In grade 11, I definitely thought I was gay for a while and came up to a lot of people as gay. And actually, the people that I'm friends with that don't know that I'm trans yet, I've come out to as gay, so at least that they know that I'm queer. So when I do feel comfortable coming out to them, it won't be a big gap from thinking that you're straight and cis to, oh, you're pansexual and transgender. If I'm, to them, someone who's gay and does drag, it's not a huge leap to being transgender. Doing drag and trans are not the same, and I'm not saying that, but it's their comfortability and their getting used to a transition, because if you're introduced to someone as male and straight, it takes a while for them to adjust. So doing it slowly, for me, I find really helps the people that I know. Who are you most scared telling you were trans to? Do you feel like the online community are any help? Definitely my parents. Okay, so I definitely realized that I had part of my head cut off, so I've moved back now, and hopefully you can see me a little bit better, don't have like this cut off. I'm not gonna redo that first of the video just because I'm not going to go and refilm and re-answer all those questions when I answer them well. So the question was about my, who was I most scared to come out to, and it was definitely my parents. There's a little story behind it. When I felt comfortable and had come up to a few friends, I wanted to talk to my doctor about it. So I made an appointment, but I didn't tell my parents why. I said it was because of mental health. And then when we talked after, my mom and I had mentioned that I was like mentally healthy and the doctor wasn't worried about me. And my mom was really confused. And a couple days later, I get a text when I'm in Walmart from my mom, and she's like, I know why you want to see the doctor. And I was like, okay, why? And she says, well, you're unsure about your sexuality. And I said, not quite. She says, what do you mean not quite? I said, it's my gender. And she's like, oh, well, you know, I just didn't know the wording. Yeah, like, I smelled the nail polish in your room, like, Dad and I know, we just wanted to let you know that we know. And I was like, oh, cool, well, she's taking it really easy. So the next day I casually mentioned something also via text, because I was at work, about being transgender, and she didn't know, she said. She just knew that I wasn't sure. So she took that pretty hard at first, and she's getting better. I think my dad's still taking it pretty hard, and hopefully both of them will come to terms with it and be more comfortable with me so I can be more comfortable with them. Because really what it takes is their comfortability that results in my comfortability, me personally. So that was that, but it's done now, and I mean, it sucks that it was done by text, but at least it happened, and I don't have to stress about that anymore. Who do you look up to, celebrities and real people? That's a hard one. Liver and Cox, of course, that's an easy escape. Who else? I adore Laura Jane Grace. The album Transgender Dysphoria Blues is a lot of emotion that I've felt personally, and I can relate. You can watch her documentary following her and some other trans people called True Trans on AOL, I think. I'm gonna try and find it and post the link down below so you can watch it. It's a series of 7 videos, I think, that are about 10 minutes or under in length, and I would really recommend watching that. It's beautiful. I love it. Real people. My friend Emily is just fantastic. I love her a lot. I definitely look up to her. She's a really passionate, like, driven person. She's just such an awesome person, and I'm really thankful that I've got to know her and spent a lot of time with her. Who else? The people that live above me, Alex and Nathan, they're fantastic, and I wouldn't be living here without them. I don't know where I'd be without them, so I'm really, really thankful for my 2 housemates, and I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Do you prefer to date boys, girls, non-binary, or other? You see, I'm pansexual, so gender identity really doesn't matter a lot to me, although I have a very big crush on someone who's cis. I would definitely, I think, as an overall preference, if I were to end up with a life partner, I would want it to be someone who is non-binary or trans, so I kind of would feel like they know what's going on. You know, they understand completely how I feel. They understand dysphoria. Meanwhile, a cis person can try to understand, but they won't know personally what it's like. So it's a little bit difficult. It's also just really difficult. I'm not sure if I'm going to fully transition or present female full-time because of my acting career and a bunch of other things. So, like, I need someone who's okay with me being a little bit non-binary, a little bit fluid, not just a fully transitioned trans woman. Who are the most beautiful people that you know? There's a wonderful girl in Sweden named Emily who's pretty beautiful. Laura Jane Grace is just stunning. I love her. All of you guys, all my internet friends, you guys are the most wonderful, supportive, beautiful people. I really don't know where I'd be without your support. Thank you so much for your kind tweets, and the few of you that I've FaceTimed, thank you so much for that. Just, you're really the support that I need. You're the family that I have. Blood makes you relatives, but the connection makes you family, and you guys are my family, so thank you so much for that. If you had one set of, well, if you were to have one more set of pronouns, what would they be? Like pronouns such as Z, Nor, Spark, Bunself, etc. I prefer she or they pronouns for the most part. Although Spark is really cool. That would be pretty cool. Or Z. Z's okay. I would prefer that you didn't use he pronouns unless you were talking to someone like my grandparents who didn't know that I was trans, and I don't want them to know that I'm trans right now. So in that situation, that would be okay to use he, but like if we're hanging out, don't say Josiah or call me he. Like, there's no reason for you to, and it's just going to be upsetting. I may not express that it's upsetting, but inside, it sucks. So please don't do that. Any tips for coming out? Just make sure that you're comfortable. I do it just a few people at a time. Like, in that span from grade 11 until this year, which was a 3-year span, I only talked to one person during that time, Tyler, who was just so fantastic. And then I started to tell a couple more people, and then I came out on my one Twitter, and then I felt comfortable enough to tell my parents and my sister, and then I came out on my main Twitter, and now I'm like fairly out of the closet, although there's certain people that I just don't want to know, and don't, thankfully. But it's all about comfortability and talking to people that you trust. Sit them down. Doing it in real life is so much easier, although I was stuck doing it by text. Just sit them down, tell them that you need to talk to them, make sure that they know that you're the same person, tell them that it's something big, but you're the same person that they love and know, and just tell them straight up, and they're gonna have to have time to process because it's not something that they probably would have expected. Give them the information that they need, whether it's documentaries or answering questions that they may have. But if they really care about you, they will be there for you, and I guarantee you that they will. And if you need any help or support, just let me know, because I'm here for each and every one of you. There's no problem. I want to support you as much as I possibly can. Okay, so it's a slight nuisance, but it only lets me do it in like certain minute chunks because it's all high definition. So it won't let me do more than 8-minute chunks, and even though I'm cutting out the parts where I have gaps, it's still pretty long. So bear with me as I do a little bit at a time. But yeah, okay, so back to questions. The newest question, the next question that I was answering was about hair color. If you had to dye your hair an unnatural color, what would it be? Or what were some crazy hairstyles that you would like to try? I think some pastel blue or like pink would be really cool. Blue is kind of like a bob, I think would be really sweet. Or like the really cool pink as a longer hair would be really sweet. When you were a kid and someone asked you what you wanted to do when you grew up, what did you say? You see, I always changed my mind. First, I really wanted to be a firefighter, like in kindergarten. And then I wanted to be a lawyer for many times, a criminal defense lawyer, but then I decided it wasn't for me. And then I wanted to go into theater, and then because of some religious propaganda, I decided that I was going to be a youth pastor. I don't even really, I mean, I'm good with kids, but I don't really like kids. So that was a year of regret at Bible college, but that's another story for another time. It wasn't a good year. And then I took radio for a semester, and it wasn't quite right for me, and right now I'm kind of working and figuring out, I'm thinking though I want to go into professional theater and or take aesthetics and spa management, because I think that would be really fun and I would be really good at it, and it's a really good area for a trans/non-binary person to work. When you are feeling down, what are some of the things that cheer you up? Singing. I love singing. Watching musicals, watching cartoons. Those are things that always get me going. Cooking. Making myself real food I enjoy it so much, and I'm rewarded after with the good food. So things like that. In the worst case scenario, just taking a hot shower and trying to be happy, or ordering pizza if that's what it takes. Just trying to figure out what will cheer me up. It really depends on the day. If you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be? I think I would tell myself that it's gonna work out. Don't overstress, don't overthink, just be yourself and really just worry about that. Everything else will fall into place. That was something that I always worried about, but I think for the most part I'm really content with how my life is, and everything that's happened has really shaped me as a person, so I'm super thankful. If you had to change your name, what would it be, and why? Well, I'm technically changing it eventually to Josephine Danielle, or Josie, just because it's kind of like the girl version of my name, and I think it's more suiting to me, honestly, than my birth name, and I think it's super pretty, so that. Would you date a trans person? Of course I would date a trans person. I would prefer to date a trans person, honestly. Would you date a cis person? If it was a person who is super supportive and understanding, then yeah, of course. Once again, it doesn't matter about the gender identity, it's about the person who they are. Well, that is the end of my questions. So, if there's a subject that you'd like me to talk about next time, rather than just answering questions, let me know. You can also send questions for vlogs at any time on my AskFM or Tumblr. Just take them with vlog. Let me know what you think in the comments. Get some discussion going if you want to talk about some stuff. Give me a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe. I would love some subscribers. And just give me the support that I need to keep this channel going. I have all the links that I said I would down below, so check them out, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.